I challenged Dennis earlier today. I said on the show today, I feel like we've been doing all this Canes talk and we've been handling the easy stuff. Would you like Jake Guentzel back? Yeah, he's a really good player. I would like him back. If you could, would you keep Brady Shea and Brett Pesce? Well, yeah, if we could, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, these are easy questions. Do you want Teuvo Teravainen back? If there's going to be a cap casualty, there you go. Like, some questions are easier than others. So I said, give me the hardest. I want the hardest questions for the Canes this offseason. I challenged Dennis to come up with them, and I'm going to do my best to answer them. I will not shy away. There will be no cop-outs.
Okay,
what
first
are the questions?
One. If the Carolina Hurricanes bring back Jake Guentzel and sign Seth Jarvis to long-term extensions, let's say roughly $16.5 million between the two, because we're hearing
Per year.
Yeah, per year. So we're hearing about $8 million per year for Jake Guentzel. I'm going to assume that Seth Jarvis is somewhere in that ballpark. I'll shade higher, $8.5 million for Seth Jarvis because he is younger. So looking at cap space now after that for this season, you're looking at about $10.5 million, and you still got to fill 4 more forwards and 3 defensemen. And that includes restricted free agent Jack Drury, also still need to be signed. So you're looking at $10.5 million for 7 players. How many rookies are you willing to play this season? On a team looking to win right now, how many rookies are you willing to play this year?
First of all, and this is not, I'm not copping out, I'm just letting this be known. If that scenario plays out, I'd be mighty tempted to find a way to get Kokoniemi off the salary cap. I would be not now in this scenario. We're not, but I would be mighty tempted to make that happen. I think 3 is the number.
You play 3 rookies this year.
If I have $10.5 million for 7 players,
and again, Jack Drury is going to be restricted free agent, so you might see
Jack Drury,
$1.5 million, $2 million eaten up in that.
If you want to fit Martinook in there, that's another 2.5. Now you're down to 5 for 5. Everyone's got to be $1 million or less.
And you talk about dudes got to play, right?
You
can't just game day inactive, guys.
Yeah, exactly. The way I would do it is I would do everything possible to not have 2 rookies on the ice at the same time. So maybe 1 defenseman, 2 forwards, try to hide one of the forwards with Stahl and Fost. And then have
those guys play an important role, though. You're talking about shutting down the other team's top line. You want a rookie doing that?
No, I don't want.
Exactly.
I don't want. But I also don't want rookie on the 4th line.
Mount Dr. Tulsky.
I think that's where, like, you're gonna have to take a haircut. So that's why this is hardest questions. It's not easiest questions. You're once you decide to spend. And by the way, I've been an advocate for spend on the top. Right? If you spend most of your resources on the top 6 forwards, top 4 defensemen, and then 2/3 of the stall line, I think you can take your lumps elsewhere. I would not love it. I'm sure Rod would have a couple of stomping walks down to my office because, let's be real, the guy likes to play veterans, likes to trust veterans, and him trusting 3 rookies sounds very unlikely. But it might be, you got to look at him and say, did you want Guentzel or not? Right? That's the sliding scale is if you want your first line to be Aho in the middle with Svech and Guentzel on either side, you might have to hide a rookie or 2. And obviously I think Scott Morrow would be the rookie on defense. Pair him with a veteran that hopefully you can find for $1.5 million, $1.8 million, something like that. Some veteran that wants to one more shot at a cup, and then keep that seat warm for Nikishin next year. Or that might be Orlov's spot. Just we'll talk about that another time. That 4th line, Kuzi in the middle, rookie on one side. If you're bringing back Martinook, maybe it's tough. It's tough. I'll go 2.5. I need one that's a very old soul.
Okay.
I need one that somehow convinces Rod that he's not a traditional rookie. So 2 rookies for sure. 1 more if it's the right rookie.
Okay. Could be a Felix Unger-Storm maybe in that mix too.
See, but he's what, 19 this year, 20 next year?
Guy almost made the team last year, it felt like.
I get that. But part of it is Rod as well. Like Rod values veteranship, and as a head coach, I get it. Like I'm not knocking him for it. I just find it very difficult that unless it's an extremely special 20-year-old, like because he has done it in the past. I'm not saying it's impossible, but unless it's an extremely special one, I don't know if you're trusting him up there.
So yeah, be warned, folks. This season, you might see a lot of veteran minimum guys playing in your bottom six. Just letting people know. That's good because again, you got to fill the roster out. You might be looking at like we saw Paul Stastny just a couple years ago. All right, 1-year deal, making just over $1 million, tail end of the career, but still contributing.
And I was gonna say, and I don't hate that for this team.
I don't hate it either.
I would like a little youth on the Stahl line. If that third guy could just be a little bit more zip, I'd be okay with that.
All right, next one here. You have still a need for a number 2 center, yet you are paying Evgeny Kuznetsov $3.9 million this upcoming season, and you have Jesperi Kotkaniemi for about $4.8 million. But yet those guys are centers, and yet you still need a number 2 center. Are you buying out one of those two guys this offseason? And if so, whom?
I'm not buying them out. I'd be very tempted to. I still believe, and maybe this is, like every once in a while you hear somebody say, like, in an NBA game, I think I could score 12 points if you played me 38 minutes and I was just gunning to score. Maybe this is me overestimating my GM skills. I think you get someone to take Kotkaniemi.
You probably could, actually.
I don't know if you have to buy him out. You may have to do some creative pairing with picks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you can get that $4.8 million off your books without having to take the 12-year commitment on your – because when you buy him out, for those of you that don't know, when you buy out a player, the cap hit shrinks a ton, but it goes on for twice the length of the term remaining. So it'd be essentially $800,000 on the cap every year for the next 12, which I don't love anything that commits 12 years into the future.
Or do like 6 years in the future, Jesperi Kotkaniemi. You save about $4 million of cap space. That's a pretty darn good player, $4 million.
I think you can get rid of him. What did Tulsky tell us, Dennis?
Creative solution.
Creative solutions.
That's pretty creative in my mind.
Buying out?
Yeah.
I think you can get somebody to take Kotkaniemi.
Okay.
And I'd be interested in that.
He's still super young. He's only 23 years old.
Super young and not that long from showing the potential that made the Canes offer him that deal. Mm-hmm. Like not that it's still fresh enough in some teams' minds that if you're a rebuilding club, why would you not give them that chance if it's going to be very cheap? And I would not ask for much.
All right, if you trade Martin Necas for a top 7 pick, are you drafting a player that can play now or flipping the 7th pick for another player right now?
I think there's a difference here between 4 and 7, but I'm going to answer it generically. I'm drafting a player. I'm drafting a pro-ready rookie. I'm not looking to flip it for the simple fact of let's say they get the 4th pick from Columbus, just to talk my way through this. You can get like a legit vet for the 4th pick, right? Like you can get somebody that's legit, but they probably come with a legit price tag. And based on the previous 2 questions you asked me, you need to keep some of the players in your lineup cheap. So 4th pick, I'm taking somebody that I believe I can play very, very early, and also loving the fact that they would be on a very, very low contract to help solve some of the other problems. If playing the 4th overall pick from the jump allows me to afford Martinook, and then I can keep Stahl, Martinook, and Foss together and have somebody like, to me, like it's a Tulsky thing to acquire the 4th pick. It becomes a Tulsky and Rod thing to make the 4th pick, because then you got to pick somebody that Rod believes can actually slot in somewhere and he will actually play on the ice. So I would draft somebody for the rent-controlled cost, the contract control. But If you could find the right veteran for cheap, I would consider trading, but I just don't think that exists. I don't think anyone that's good enough to draw the 4th pick from the Canes would also be cheap enough to make sense to find a spot for him in the lineup. So it's kind of a catch-22 there. And also, you might bring back a player in addition to the 4th.
Yeah.
Right? So now we're killing birds with stones. Like you're doing 2 things at once, which I would greatly appreciate. If you could bring back somebody plus the 4th, somebody cheap-ish plus the 4th, or them take some of the money off of a veteran contract plus the 4th. Now we're talking Eric Tulsky's taking victory laps, and he's just skating around the ice, banging into the boards, and getting the crowds hyped. So do you have one more? I know. I said
nope,
there
that's
you
it.
go.
That's what I got here.
The hardest questions. How'd I do?
I think you did all right.
Was that a decent audition for the GM?
The first one that I gave you about if you're going to sign Jarvis and Guentzel to big deals for this upcoming season, you're going to be in a position where you're going to be having veteran minimum players.
It
on
is
the bottom of your roster.
It's a sliding scale. The more you invest somewhere, the less you can invest somewhere else. That's how the salary cap works. If you were the Yankees, you could just spend all the money on Guentzel and then go spend all the money on a center, then go spend all the money to have all-stars in your 4th line. But it's not even the right sport. And that's why everybody hates the Yankees.